Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks Plays KSP. Today, this is the episode 52. Today we will be doing the following. We will take the spaceplane Voyager that we have lovingly put into the Duna orbit, which sadly ran out of fuel. And we will take our carbonite miner Mark III, the one that we have actually taken off from Duna, to dock with the spaceplane Voyager. And we will hopefully dock this in the Duna orbit, followed by the return of the Voyager back to Duna Orbital Station. So that's the plan for today. So it's a little bit more Duna operations things, but we will have definitely, I get at least 2 dockings, if all goes well. And the first one is we are currently flying the carbonite miner Mark III, and I'm just now fiddling, as you can see, trying to get a good encounter with our spaceplane Voyager. Note that we don't have a whole lot of delta V. This is 531 meters per second, but that's 531 for the miner craft. And that one would translate into much more for the spaceplane Voyager because of the obvious reason, which is mass. Also, a notable thing is that we have a 1654 carbonite in our tank still, which I want to convert to the liquid fuel sooner rather than later. So that would mean that basically we would have enough to basically dock, refuel, and hopefully gently land back somewhere at Duna, because I'm not 100% sure that I will be able to aim straight for the Pioneer base site. We'll see. Okay, we have a planned maneuver in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I'm hoping that I will be able to just execute the burn, which I am using the flight computer from the remote tech. So it's a 36.5 meters per second. It's a very short burn, just 8 seconds. And that should hopefully secure us a good enough encounter. So let's see how it looks. Okay, wow. Seems good enough. So, but I've noticed one tiny detail. In planning this maneuver node, I have completely goofed up and put my periapsis at the low 63 kilometer. So, I don't recall what is the... I'm doing this as a post commentary, and back then I was thinking that my periapsis should be above 60. However, I forgot that Duna has lower atmosphere threshold rather than Kerbal. So I was assuming that it needs to be over the 70. So I figured out, okay, yeah, sure, we need to fix the periapsis. So I have to burn a little bit radially outwards. Yeah, you know, you live, you learn. What can you do? Anyway, so the goal is to actually fix the encounter, secure it, so a little bit more fiddlage, and then we should be on our merry way. Probably completely unnecessary, but yeah, what can you do? You live, you learn. Okay, so now our periapsis is at 71, and then we'll just try to burn a little bit radially and a little bit maybe prograde or retrograde. Let me just see where the positions interact nicely. So let's just move this a little bit around, see if we can secure a better encounter. Okay, let's execute as is. I figured the way we will do it, should still come close enough, and then we will hopefully do some magic, and everything will be fun and dandy. Or I could just replan. Hold on, let me see if I can find here maybe a better maneuver node, and hopefully get us some more decent encounter. So let's just see. Okay, activate. No, I don't want to activate navigation. So let's see. Oh, and there we go. See? That wasn't that difficult. Oh, not that. not that one. As always, as a true expert, you get it right from the get-go, and it takes only 2 meters per second. Sure. Well, that's not me. Anyway, so let's just see. We do have a burn of 6 meters per second, and there we go. That should secure us a good enough encounter. While we are here, we might want to be starting the liquid fuel pump. So we refill our tanks to a degree, because, I mean, why not? I was just making sure to take off with some spare so that I can actually take off to start with. So yes, 14 minutes until our maneuver node, and I have put the maneuver node with 0 meters per second just to alert us when we would be basically in the right spot. Okay, the carborundrum. I'm so used to running with carborundrum that I'm thinking that I will always use carborundrum, which is wrong. So, that thing in mind, let us delete the maneuver node. Okay. I'm thinking that I'll want to just burn slightly towards relative to the target. Okay, see? And that would secure us a much, much better encounter. 0.5 kilometers in 6 minutes. Provided by my better burn time mod, which I know and love. It's amazing mod. In my opinion, that should be also part of the stock. So, closing in on the spaceplane Voyager, kicking in a little bit time acceleration, just enough so that we get closer within the physics range, and we are moving at a relative 35.9 meters per second, which is actually quite low, but then again, the burn would be 7 seconds, so as we come closer, I will want to decrease it little by little. Up off here, up off there. Okay. We are keeping our retrograde marker and the target retrograde marker aligned, because that will help us to end up at the same spot and hopefully going at the same or similar speed. Or velocity, if you will. So 2.1, and I'm expecting to see oh, there we go, the physics loaded, and now it's just a matter of slowing down our relative velocities. 1 kilometer. Coming up on 500 meters. We're coming up close, so maybe I should be decelerating by a little bit. There we go. 7 meters per second relative velocity, and we should be considering the docking procedure. We are going at 3.3 meters per second relative to the target. Okay, I'm thinking that I will slowly decelerate to 0, and then I will just orient the spaceplane Voyager so it's kind of easier maybe to, dock with it. and the sun has set. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate. I was kind of hoping to do this at the sunlight, but you know. Okay, so no, actually I know that I have monoprop in the spaceplane, so rather than that I will actually point the tank normal upwards, or normal prograde, and I will use the spaceplane to dock. So let's pull up our docking alignment indicator. Let's control from the docking port. And it's 160 meters, so let's do the docking dance, shall we? Okay, aligning the orange whisk, so to say. Oops, a little bit. The reaction wheels are strong, but they're not that strong. Okay, now let's align the orange peep to the center. That's kind of the procedure I always go. Make sure that everything is dead center, and then just translate. Because that's usually what it works best, but it works only if your craft is well balanced. And sometimes, as you can see here, since I've expended all of my fuel, my craft isn't exactly 100% balanced, but I think we'll have to just play with it and go along as it is. $120 Our relative distance is 30. 35, 37, okay, and our real distance is 82 meters. Good. The C distance basically tells the different distance between the docking ports if they were like, or you could say port planes. So that's like absolute distance between, or not absolute, sorry, the distance between the plane of the port and the plane of the docking port on the shuttle. I don't know how to explain it better, sorry. Anyway, okay, now we have to fix a little bit of the alignment, but I just want to make sure that I stop in the translation. Yeah, okay. And now we are thrusting downwards to ensure that our velocity relative to the docking port, we're going straight for it. And then I have to turn the craft so that the docking ports are well aligned. Yeah. Okay, wrong side. This way. Okie doke. Right. So now we have to translate a little back and or a little down, so to say. It's hard to, you know, talk when you have different orientation on the docking port alignment indicator, and this one seems to be rotating. Oh boy. That makes whole this docking much more fun, doesn't it? So I have to turn my craft, but also make sure that the orientation is on par. You know, it wouldn't be fun otherwise, so I might as well do it this way. $7 meters. We are zeroing in. And we have enough monoprop, so it's nothing really strange there. 2 meters. Come on, dock. And we have a soft dock. Beautiful. Okay, time to transfer the liquid fuel. So let's see if we can empty out the tank. Well, we don't want to fully empty the tank. I do want to transfer a little bit back in, because I do want a little bit of delta V to remain, so that we can at least, you know, deorbit and hopefully land in a good place. So we don't really need to put all of the fuel there, because we will refuel at the orbital station. So we needed to have enough fuel, but not like all the fuel in the world. So it's a little bit balancing act. I think I'm gonna leave 10% of the Rockomax fuel tank. That should give us enough delta V, while yeah, I'm thinking that's fine. So transfer in. I think that's okay. Oh boy, and I forgot the monoprop. Crap. Come back. come back. I need to refuel the monoprop. Yeah. There we go again. Now, where's my monoprop? Well, typically, I would make a mistake and just go off willy-nilly and then not have a care in the world. But this way, since I was close enough, I could easily redock. Now we undock. Okay, good. Let us control once again from the cockpit. Move ever so slightly, and it's time that we can take a screenshot. Hopefully. Yeah, something like that. Thank you. Great. So that would put us back, and we need to actually figure out a decent orbit for ourselves so that we can actually rendezvous with the Duna Orbital Station now. We have a total of 958 delta V, which is more than enough for us to actually get to Duna Orbital. So that's good. It's just a matter of fiddling that we find a correct place to burn and a good approach to Duna Orbital, because that one is huge. Okay, switching to balance all, because I do want my fuel tanks to be more or less balanced. Control from the cockpit. Thank you. So, Mr. Fister and Mario. Chance to show your prowess at docking. Or your skill at docking, so to say. Now we have a total of 20 meters per second to burn. There we go. A little bit puff in there. Okay. Oh, and there's an Ike Clips. I think I'm gonna go in the target relative mode. 96 meters per second. We have plenty to actually successfully decelerate, so I'm not overly concerned, and our approach is improving. So 8.1 kilometers in 9 minutes, that's good. Okay, I'm thinking I want to burn slightly towards the target so that we get there faster. Okay, we are improving our approach, that's for sure. 0.2 in 3 minutes 45 seconds. Well, that sounds a lot better than it did before. Okay, so we are approaching at 42 meters per second, which I would say it's a little bit fast, but this craft has good enough thrust to weight, so we shouldn't have no problem decelerating. And it's also quite light. There is our Duna Orbital, and we are waiting until we get the physics bump, which is supposed to happen at around 2.3 kilometers. I might just tweak approach a little bit. Yep, this is much better. .3. And I'm gonna run this in, I think, 4 times acceleration, because of the frame rate that I had was like 7 FPS, so this will seem a little bit faster than it really was for me, but then again, no point in dilly-dallying for too long. 1.4 kilometers. We are 1 kilometer out, and that thing is huge. So okay, decelerating by a little. And we have one specific port where we want to come, so I want to be really careful in terms of docking in the right way there. We have already, I believe, 2 space planes over there, so I think this would add to the collection, so it would be 3 space planes over there. And I don't know if I'm gonna be using the Voyager onwards, because it's clearly lacking Delta V when it comes to transport services. So yeah. I actually might use Horus instead, but that one has tremendously huge burns. Oh, screenshot. That's a beauty. Might as well do one more, maybe sometime closer. But we'll see. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Love it. Okay. So 4 meters per second. I think I'm going to decelerate slowly. And I can see the docking port that I want to dock to. So I want to select that one. I think that's the correct one. Let's control from the docking port and let us start the alignment dance once again. Okay, 120 meters out. Right. $121 so we are just aligning once again, and this time I'm not aligning the orange whisker up because I know I have a specific placement how I want the plane to be, and that's like this as it is today. So I just have to find the correct placement, and then we burn like using lateral translation thrusters so that we can actually get to the correct spot in the space. And also, guys, when we dock, hopefully successfully, I will probably call this for the episode, because I think it wraps up nicely our voyage to Duna. And then for the next episode, I'm planning a completely different system. Well, not system, planet. Well, whatever. But anyway, not Duna. So we are approaching our Duna Orbital Station, decreasing our velocity and translating ever so carefully. As you can see, we have two shuttles there. One is, I believe, one should be the Discovery, and another one should be Horus, or Eye of Horus, I believe. Okay. There we go. Brake, brake, brake. And okay, great placement. Then just thrust downwards. And there we go. Docked. Beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked the episode. If you do like the episode, hit subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next episode. So until then, thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off while you guys get a chance to enjoy this beautiful view from Duna Orbital Station.